Hey guys, Ralph here, and welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this wonderful Wednesday here in Connecticut. Life's good, guys. Life is good. In some ways, you saw the thumbnail. Doc's done, man. I mean, ever since he started pushing 90 years old, we had to have thought that this was in the cards at some point. I just never thought it would happen. I'm talking too much. Let me honk a little bit. In deference to Doc, I put in 3 hours today. First time I practiced 3 hours in a while. Okay? It's holding up pretty good. I'm very, very comfortable with where everything is. Okay, let me honk and we'll talk about Doc. I'm ready to go. That's after 3 hours of playing. The double C was a one-handed job. Caressed the baby. Monday, I probably could have plowed through a job if I had to. I wouldn't want to. Yesterday, I could have definitely done a job, depending on what the job was. I wouldn't have felt comfortable without, playing first. Show, concert band, orchestra, something like that. A lower part would have been fine. Today I got it. If there was something tonight, Haydn Concerto, Brandenburg, I could do it. All right, anyway, Doc. Guys, it's ironic. I didn't know about Doc's last thing when I did my thing on his chops yesterday, okay? Several people let me know that Doc did his final performance, was it Monday? With that Calypso type group that he works with. Tremendous. Couple thoughts, and I have done a lot of videos on Doc. With that said, I am, even at my advanced age, I am significantly younger than Doc. So my trumpet career never had one day without Doc in it. Okay, my first real trumpet, it's right over there, is the, you have to see it, the Doc Severinsen Getzen Eterna Severinsen model. Okay, it's tarnished, the braces are off and all this sort of stuff. It still plays. It's a nice horn, man. It really is a nice horn. Jerry liked it too. He didn't, it was a little too light. The weight didn't quite have the projection he wanted, but other than that, he liked the horn. With that said, guys, he was the most visible trumpet player in the world for a long, long time. Now, us hardcore guys, trumpet players, trumpet connoisseurs, and maybe some, real jazz guys or real orchestral guys would know about Maynard Ferguson, and they would know about Herseth and Mel Broyles and all that sort of stuff, and Andre, okay? But remember, for the longest time, this was without social media. How many of you have ever been to a Maurice Andre concert? Probably less than 10% of you, right? But you know all about him because of social media. Hundreds of videos right at your fingertips. Okay? But for the longest time, Doc was on TV 5 days a week on one of the most popular shows in the history of television. And he was playing in Las Vegas, and he was taking his band on tours, and he was just the most visible trumpet player in the world. Okay? Now, you know the way Hollywood works. It could have very easily been somebody, not trying to knock Herb Albert or something like that, but it could have been something that was more popular than Doc. And he could have had that spot very, very easily. But we got one of the greatest trumpet players that ever lived to be the spokesperson for lack of spokesperson, for lack of a better term, for the trumpet world. I mean, people knew Louis Armstrong, but what did they know him? I've got wings of green, hello, Dolly. They didn't know he was a fabulous trumpet player. Everybody knew Doc was a great trumpet player. And I've always said, even to the most amateur listener, they know when something is great. They don't know why it was great necessarily. Well, the intonation there in the second between the flutes and the violins was perfect, and that's very hard to do. They don't necessarily know why, but when you listen to something great, you know you are in the presence of greatness. And Doc was great. Doc was great. And how many times, my God, guys, if I had a nickel for every time I told one of my thousands of students, if Doc Severinsen can practice 3 to 5 hours a day, who the heck are you can't put in a half an hour? I don't want to hear it. And I would say that to parents and everybody. For the longest time would know exactly who I was talking about. And to have that as a role model, an icon for the trumpet world was just wonderful. And I'm not going to bore you with how I met him and all that sort of stuff, but I don't know of anybody that met him casually. Hey, Doc, I'm a trumpet player, that he wasn't very, very nice to. Personal and outgoing. Keep practicing, what a role model for the rest of us. Now, it came at a heavy price, and he's the first one to tell you. If you watch that documentary, It's Never Too Late, DOC, capital DOC, documentary, he makes no bones about it. I'm not telling stories. It cost him several marriages, alcoholism, drug addiction. It was all part of the deal, and he was right up front about it. But through the whole thing, he just kept practicing. Now, in order to sustain that level of excellence in the practice, guys, you have to be maniacally driven. There's no question about that. But you have to love it. Torture, I talk about this with my diet all the time, guys. Torture only works so long. Working out, exercise, it only works for so long. The normal person is not going to do it. And he had to love what he was doing. Had to. So for him to say that's it, that must have been traumatic. It could be one of two things or a combination of two things. Either he just didn't feel he was up to putting the work in anymore, or he probably felt it just wasn't making it up to his standards anymore. Now, the gig that he was doing with the Hispanic rhythms and all that sort of stuff was brilliant. Now, it wasn't the high note stuff that he used to do, but the technique was just flawless. And that's another thing, guys. He was a master technician. I'm going to leave his version of the Carnival of Venice down that is at least as good as Del Steger's ever did. He was a master technician. Clark studies beginning to end 2-3 times every single day. Guys, he was a master. He was the man. He was the man. He was the face of trumpet playing. And God bless him. Doc, whatever, I hope you're happy. I just hope you're happy. All right? Anyway, eat and drink fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Not the fake stuff, true power. Love you all.